Hello friends, welcome back to another video from my series Quick Thoughts On, in which I share with you my opinions about a Star Trek episode. This week's video will be about the episode The Slaver Weapon. Cats are not scary. Cats are cute, adorable, and funny. Everybody loves cats, even the people who usually claim to hate them love them when they think nobody else watches them. What I'm trying to say is that unless you're a mouse or a hamster or something like that, you have no reason to be afraid of a cat. And pink is not a very threatening color, is it? There are several different reasons why armies don't give their soldiers pink uniforms. Pink is the color usually associated with gays and young girls, so who thought that making the enemies giant cats in pink spacesuits is a good idea? This episode starts with a view of space and nothing is happening. What a thrilling opening. Then we see a shuttle with Spock, Uhura and Sulu. They just found a stasis box from the slavers. A piece of technology we have never heard about before and will never hear about again, from a race we have never heard about before and will never hear about again. From Spock's log we get informed that the slavers were an ancient race which died out before any known other species appeared. Before you have any chance to think about it, the stasis box starts to glow. That can apparently mean just one thing. A different stasis box is near. Because the only way how to find a stasis box is to use a different stasis box. Now, that's a very strange technology, don't you think? But of course, our heroes just have to find it, even though it seems like a trap. They even fly above space to get it, or maybe it's just another animator F-up. They of course land on the planet and find the second stasis box, but what a surprise. The thing which looked like a trap was a trap. They're suddenly ambushed by giant cats in pink spacesuits. I'm sorry, I just can't take them seriously. Especially look at the inside of their ship. I have a feeling like I should censor the door. 3 kitties come inside. The one who looks like he suffers from hangover is a telepath, but he will only scan Sulu because Uhura is a woman and therefore not intelligent, and Spock is a vegetarian and therefore inferior. I somehow doubt that this script could be filmed in current politically correct America. The kitties are members of a race called the Xinti. The ship is called the Traitor's Claw and the captain is Chuffed Captain. They open the box and find some green action figure, which apparently should be a picture of a slaver, a piece of thousands of years old meat, which is still fresh because the time is not continuing inside the box, and a green toy, which apparently is a weapon. They go out to test it, putting the Enterprise crew on something called a police web. Not sure what exactly the thing is, but the people standing on it can't leave it, so I always assumed it's a lazy way how to achieve something like a cell without the need of animating actual bars. The weapon has a lever, allowing it to change between different modes. The first mode the kitties try is just a dumb sonic gun, a different one is a portable telescope, another one again is just a simple laser, much weaker than Starfleet's phasers. A different one is a kind of a jetpack. The main cat actually accidentally kicks out Uhura. So wait, what? Are there no invisible bars? I'm sorry, I just can't understand how should this so-called police web work. But Uhura escapes and walks away instead of running, and of course she gets shot and captured again. Wow, that was pointless. The next mode manages to switch off all electrical fields, which means the captured Enterprise crew can escape. Again, not sure how does the police web work. So why did actually Uhura escape only to get captured again and then escape again? Spock manages to kick the main cat so hard that he jumps out of his belt and steals the weapon. Oh yes, Uhura gets captured again. What a surprise. The main cat wants to duel Spock for honor and swap Uhura for the weapon. So we will get an exciting duel between Spock and the kitty, right? Wrong. Uhura is probably not worth rescuing. Spock and Sulu try the next mode of the weapon and it's a complete change of matter to energy, and it basically behaves like a nuclear blast. It knocks out our heroes and they get captured again. So the cats have now what they wanted. They try to find the correct mode, but accidentally activate the computer, because of course the weapon has a voice-controlled computer interface. The computer tries to ask for the password, but the cats ignore his request and instead ask him for the most destructive mode. Spock understands what's going on. The weapon knows that it belonged to a secret agent during a war, but then suddenly get woken up by creatures which it has never seen before. These creatures ask for top secret information and they don't know the passwords. That's why the weapon assumes it's in the hands of the enemy and will try to kill them. And Spock was right. The weapon self-destructs and kills the Xinti. See, kids? The cute kitties are dead, blown up to pieces. That's what the kids want to see, right? Now, this is not a Star Trek script. No, it's not my personal opinion, it's a fact. Larry Niven, or Niven, I'm not sure how to pronounce it correctly, the writer of this episode, wrote his story as a simple short story. Roddenberry liked it and asked Larry to write a Trek script for them, but he didn't like anything what Larry offered, so he asked him to simply adapt that short story to a Star Trek script. And that's exactly what happened. And you can clearly feel it's not meant to be a Star Trek story. It feels like a story taken from a completely different TV show with special guest stars from the Star Trek universe. The story has no Enterprise, no Captain Kirk, no standard aliens, no standard villains, no typical Star Trek structure. Its technology is even more dumb than the technology seen on Voyager. And what's the moral of this story? Every good Trek story has some moral. What's the moral of this one? Cats are explosive? Don't mess with computers? Don't trust technology? And I'm sorry, but I just can't find cats in pink uniforms intimidating. Yes, I know that the guy who assigned the colors was colorblind, but it's very sad that nobody ever questioned his decisions. Also, what was I supposed to feel at the end? I thought the ending was funny, but then I realized that it's maybe not supposed to be funny. I mean, the cats died in an explosion, and we have never seen the Xinti again. There are some rumors on the internet that they were supposed to be included in an episode of Season 5 of Enterprise, but unfortunately that show got cancelled just after 4 seasons. There are way too many plotlines which are repetitive or just simply go nowhere. For example, why did the story include Uhura escaping, getting captured, escaping, and getting captured? Why does the story inform us about the fact that the stoned-looking cat is a telepath, when the fact is not really used in the climax? Why does the story set up a possibility of an exciting duel between the cat captain and Spock and doesn't go anywhere with it? Usually problems like this can be solved with a rewrite or two. Now, it's really hard for me to rate it as a Star Trek story because as I said, it's hard for me to even take it as a Star Trek story. But I think that 5 out of 10 rating would be enough for this one. It has its problems, but it's also enjoyable for a 1970s cartoon. But as always, these were just my thoughts. Tell me, what do you think about this episode down in the comment section? Did you love it or hate it? And how many of you have actually seen it? I was surprised to find out that a friend of mine who is a lifetime Trek fan didn't know that a cartoon show was created until I told him about it. As always, if you like these videos, hit that thumbs up button and feel free to watch any of the previous episodes. I have covered the complete first season of the original series and almost the whole first season of the animated series. You should see links to the playlists on screen right now. Next week I'm going to talk about the episode The Eye of the Beholder, which after several weeks is finally an episode I'm looking forward to. Until then, thanks a lot for watching, and see you next time. Bye.